Today's date is January 8th, 7:44 a.m. There was an ICE killing in Minneapolis. And I want to be, I want to be honest about my first reaction. Like, and then I was. So I wanted to make sure I just had to start it over just because it was something. Um, so, uh, there was an ICE killing in Minneapolis. Now, the first time, yeah, today's date, January 8th, 2026. It's only 8 days in, right? Within we just took over Venezuela, and then we got this ICE shooting in Minneapolis, killing. Well, let me not say that. It wasn't a shooting. It ended in a killing, the death of, right? And so, how do I say this? Oh, okay. I'm gonna be honest in that the first time it was mentioned to me, I'm live streaming. Somebody mentions it in the chat, but with them mentioning it in the chat, I disregard it. Like, a lot of people troll, a lot of people say misinformation, a lot of people, are you provoking me? That's the word before rage baiting. Are you provoking me? Like, a lot of people say things and you're not sure about what it is that they're actually saying. Like, if there's any validity to what they just said, right? So the first time somebody says, and they ask the question, what do you think about the ICE shooting, ICE killing in Minneapolis? And my first reaction was, I ain't never even been to Minneapolis. I ain't hear nothing about that. I don't know nothing about what's going on over there. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know. I don't care. First reaction. I didn't think too much of it. I didn't think that it was, I didn't, again, like I didn't know the validity of the question, the statement, if that really happened, if that was a real thing. I think I even said on live stream, like, well, I think my initial joke was like, I don't know if you're was God, but I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about that. Like, just my first time hearing it. Like, and I ain't over there. I'm on the other side. These are things. These are things. We had a conversation on the previous live stream about World War. Oh, I gotta get this. I think this is the person that whatchamacallit. That was just on my last live stream talking to me, so I forgot to block him before I got to this one. So it was a matter of, on the last live stream, we were literally just sitting there talking about um, World War III and Civil War II. But the question was posed was, well, which one you think is gonna happen first, right? World War III or Civil War II? The thing was, there was like both of them kind of sort of already started. Some people point to World War III could start to have with Ukraine or this Venezuela thing. You know what I'm saying? Nigeria happened. We sent Christmas presents on Nigeria. We sent Christmas presents to Nigeria. And then a week later, we took over Venezuela, colonialism, you know? So World War III, some people are pointing to those situations. As far as Civil War II, there was the whole notion that maybe certain things are happening to cause this unrest within the people so that the Insurrection Act could be implemented. Because what we've seen multiple cities get invaded by the National Guard. No, that's just the phrasing, the words I'm using. But the National Guard was sent to a couple different cities. Was it that to quiet things down or to keep things peaceful before they got too rowdy? I don't know. I don't know. So you got potentially things happening knowing that the people are disgruntled and that they may do something, but let's keep them calm. Let's keep them, send over the whatchamacallit, right? Send the National Guard in there to calm things down. And so the thing about, like, I didn't know nothing about the killing, right? Again, the first time I heard it, somebody asked me what my thought was. It, I disregarded it. I start to see like it as a recurring thing on other places. I'm like, oh, it really did happen. So now another thing about sharing those type of trauma or those responses, it used to be, you get desensitized. And so just, and not to bring, I'm trying to keep it general in a sense, but there used to be a certain group of people targeted. The video would get shared. There's no edit to the video and it's looped. And then now you got this that's constantly shared. So people constantly see this, a person of a similar, whatchamacallit, always targeted. The video's not edited and it's on repeat. Everybody sharing it. And it was all, and so you used to always say to like, bro, y'all really gonna, it used to be about a compliance. It used to be like, and then it got to a point where it wasn't even compliance. It was just, hey, it's just happening. There was no, and people just trying to, so I think one of the craziest Johns is like, cause you will see that, right? Because either lack of immaturity or if it is some type of, thought process, mental up here, whatever, you're gonna hear those other people trying to defend what actually happens, right? And so there's one part of like, just look at it. Just look at it. Now, I'm gonna make one statement in the sense of that anybody who tries to make life harder for anybody else for any reason, knowing that they don't have to do what they're doing, is a point of frustration. If you've ever been in a situation and you're like, bro, you don't have to do this right now. You can go like, you can let me go. You can do this and a third. You can go about your business. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that's probably way more important than this right here, right? So it was one of those like, so the video, mind you, did the video, when you start to see the video, the car, there's no movement with any of the cars. So of course there was some stuff before all of this, but prior to this, there's no movement from the cars. So, but what does somebody say about this? Matter of fact, let me just go like that, right? So, car is there, you see officers outside around. The car starts to pull off. Boom, 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 boom. Right, the cop reaches arm inside the car. Boom, 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 boom. That's it. There was no, oh, somebody was like, something came from inside the car. There was no this and the third. So this is why you start to look at like other things that could have sort of happened, right? Other things that could have sort of happened. So boom, boom, boom. The car stops. Cause what? She's dead. So somebody says she tried to run him over. The car is stopped. Now, I don't know about you, but I think any rational person would move out the way of a car. Especially this, she ain't had no Lamborghini. She ain't got no Dodge Hellcat Charger. Bitch, this shit's an SUV. It ain't about to get up and go. Nowhere fast. It ain't even what's the Jeep, the Trackhawk? This ain't no about to get up and move. It ain't like she pulled off. It ain't like she pulled off in 100 miles per hour. She don't got nothing like that. This shit probably goes 0 to 60 in 60 seconds. Nah, that's actually, yeah, no, that's slow as fuck. The shit, whatchamacallit, right? So it was the fact that like, she's starting to move the car. The car's not moving. So somebody says, oh, she tried to run him over. The car's not moving. And it's a struggle. She's trying to turn. Which means what? Get out the way. It means you have enough time to get out the way. You didn't watch the video, stop talking to me. If you see the video, the car's not moving. And then by the time the car does start to move, get out the way. Ain't that what you would do? You wouldn't, and then with all of this, everything that happens afterwards, it doesn't require you shooting. It doesn't require you shooting. Which is just on some other stuff, how this ever has to go. You do your whole little chase and this, that, and the third. It doesn't require you to shoot. And it's one of those, for anybody, for whoever says anything, this, that, and the third, it doesn't require you shooting. Nothing happened to require you shooting. That is case in point, regardless of how immature you are, regardless of how dumb you are, whatever you want to say, like, and it's for anybody on that side of the totem pole, anybody who should, like, you know what I'm saying, no matter this and the third, it doesn't require shooting. It should not end, and it should not end with the life being taken away. That's the main crux of anything. That's why it's like, you don't even have to talk to somebody who's immature or who there's lack of whatever. A life being taken away isn't justified in that situation. Y'all just, I don't know why y'all try to think and make certain things and try to blow it out of proportions and the third. And it's on some, bro, like, y'all ain't never just like let somebody slide with something like, hey, here, you can take this for free. You ain't never let somebody just like, hey, bro, you take this, you good. You think that it requires a life being taken away. You think that it requires a life being taken away. I'm totally fine with anybody who you're sitting here saying that ain't the joint. You're done. You're done. You don't. I don't like. It's the whole. I don't care what the mentality is. It's not of a high vibration. It's not a high. You're not attaching anything that you're saying and doing to justify that. It does not. It is none of what you're saying. There's no rhetoric that you can say. There's nothing that you can put together. There's no logic that you can say that it should end with her life, that she should not be alive. And all I want you to do is think and say is, dang, it should be me. Because I'm pretty sure you've done way worse than whatever she did. Because in actuality, if we sit here thinking about it, the only thing she did was be here. And be a certain ethnicity. If you don't know nothing about nothing, that's what you know that's what it's about. If you don't know nothing about nothing. All I'm saying is you've done worse with your life. And so if you're going to say anything, you're going to try to this and the third, you deserve that. You deserve to be where she is. Because you've done worse in your life. You've done worse in your life. You've done so much more, which will have warranted you being locked up or in jail. If you've ever driven drunk, under the influence, driving without a license, driving on a suspended license, these are things that people are currently in jail for. If you take a loaf of bread from the store, that is shoplifting, that is a misdemeanor, you can go to jail for that. You've done way more violence. You've done way more criminal activity that you've gotten away for, that you're thankful for. Oh, thank goodness I ain't get. But you're still alive. but you still alive. Is shoplifting worse than what? Being a Hispanic person? You sound dumb as fuck. You sound dumb as fuck. Ask me another dumbass question. Because that's who it's targeted for. I have a thing for that here. Ask me another dumb question. Y'all fucking suck as a people. Try to justify it. You've done worse in your life. You should be alive. You haven't done nothing with your life. You ain't followed none of your dreams. You ain't finished none of your goals. You're the worst version of you to ever exist. Just remember that. You fucking suck as a person. But she's not living and you are.